Have you ever watched someone spend millions of dollars planning a project, only to discover they never had the legal right to start? Because that's exactly what happened to the Homeowners Association that thought it could run a $9 million pipeline straight across my family's ranch. My name is Jack Reynolds, and my family has raised cattle on our Texas ranch for 4 generations. The land isn't just where we work. It's where my grandfather was born, where my father taught me to ride horses, and where my children are learning what hard work really means. Every fence, creek, and pasture tells part of our family story. A few years ago, a luxury subdivision was built in the hills just east of our ranch. At first, we had no problems. The neighbors waved when they drove past. Life was peaceful. Then a new HOA board was elected. Everything changed. One Monday morning, I noticed bright orange survey flags running across one of my cattle pastures. At first, I assumed the county was checking property lines. But when I followed the markers, they ran straight through the center of my ranch. Within hours, heavy equipment arrived. Excavators, survey crews, pickup trucks with engineering company logos. I drove over and asked what they were doing. The project manager smiled confidently. We're beginning preparations for the new water pipeline. I looked around. What pipeline? The HOA approved it. I laughed. You must have the wrong property. He unfolded a large blueprint. The easement runs right through here. I pointed toward the ranch house. I own every acre you're standing on. His smile disappeared. He checked the paperwork again, then quietly said, "You'll need to speak with the HOA." The next morning I attended their board meeting. HOA President Melissa Carter proudly announced the pipeline project. It will provide additional water capacity for our expanding community. I raised my hand. "Why does your pipeline cross my ranch?" She barely looked at me. "The engineering committee determined this is the shortest route." "Did anyone ask my permission?" "No." "Did anyone buy an easement?" "No." "So you're planning to build on private property?" She answered without hesitation. "The board has already approved the project." The room became silent. I reminded her that my ranch wasn't even inside the HOA. She shrugged. "The project benefits everyone." I left without arguing. Instead, I called my attorney. His name was Robert Hayes. He specialized in land rights and agricultural property disputes. After reviewing the project plans, he smiled. "This is surprisingly simple." "What do you mean?" "They skipped the most important step. They never obtained legal access." Over the next week, Robert requested every document related to the pipeline: construction contracts, engineering studies, environmental permits, county approvals, meeting minutes. What he discovered shocked even him. The HOA had already signed nearly $9 million in construction contracts. Equipment had been ordered, materials purchased, contractors hired, but not one document granted permission to cross my property. Not one. Robert immediately sent cease-and-desist letters to every contractor involved. He also notified the county planning department. Within 48 hours, construction stopped. Bright yellow stop work notices appeared across the entire project. The HOA board was furious. Melissa accused me of delaying progress. She even claimed I was trying to extort money. I simply asked one question. If someone wanted to build across your backyard, would you let them? She had no answer. A week later, county officials held a public hearing. Engineers presented colorful maps showing how much money the shorter route would save. Then Robert stood up. He held a copy of my property deed. The United States still recognizes private ownership. The room laughed quietly. Then he continued. There is no easement, no purchase agreement, no condemnation order, no legal authority whatsoever. County attorneys reviewed the documents. Within minutes, their expressions changed. One official asked the HOA's attorney, "Can you produce a recorded easement?" Silence. Another asked, "Did the property owner consent?" Again, silence. The hearing ended much earlier than expected. The county suspended every permit connected to the pipeline. News spread quickly. Local newspapers covered the story. Residents began asking why the HOA approved millions of dollars in contracts before securing property rights. The board blamed consultants. The consultants blamed engineers. The engineers blamed incomplete legal reviews. Everyone blamed someone else. Meanwhile, the construction companies wanted answers. Idle equipment was costing thousands of dollars every day. Contractors demanded compensation. Lawyers became involved. Then things became even worse for the HOA. An independent audit revealed they had committed millions in community funds before completing mandatory legal verification. Several homeowners questioned whether the board had violated its fiduciary responsibilities. Special meetings filled with angry residents followed. People demanded resignations, financial records, outside investigations. Melissa insisted everything had been done in good faith. But good faith doesn't replace legal documents. A month later, 3 board members resigned. The remaining directors canceled the pipeline contract entirely. Construction companies negotiated settlements with the HOA. The planned route was abandoned. Eventually, county engineers designed an entirely different pipeline that stayed inside public utility corridors. It cost more, but it respected property rights. Several weeks later, Melissa unexpectedly visited my ranch. She wasn't angry anymore. She looked exhausted. I wanted to apologize. I nodded. She admitted the board became so focused on saving money. They forgot something fundamental. Private land isn't available simply because a map says it's convenient. I accepted her apology, because everyone makes mistakes. The important part is learning from them. A few months later, the county invited local ranchers, developers, and HOA representatives to attend workshops about land rights and infrastructure planning. Robert was one of the keynote speakers. His first sentence made the entire audience laugh. If your project depends on someone else's land. He paused. Ask first. Today, my cattle still graze peacefully across that same pasture. No pipeline, no construction equipment, no orange survey flags, just open Texas grassland. Sometimes people ask whether I regret stopping a $9 million project. Not for a second, because respecting private property isn't an obstacle to progress. It's a foundation that keeps progress fair. And sometimes, the most powerful tool on a ranch isn't a tractor. It's a lawyer who reads every page before anyone starts digging.